Cayman GT4 is best experienced over the weekend on a quiet road. So, yeah. By now, you probably know a lot about the Cayman GT4. If you don't, here are some highlights.
The 718 GT4 features some impressive aerodynamic design elements. Up front is a functional spoiler lip as well as vents on either side of the bumper to counteract turbulence in the wheel housings and generate downforce on the front axle. That large rear wing, well, that creates an extra 12 kilograms of downforce at 200 kilometers an hour. Porsche engineers have also redesigned the rear silencer so that a larger diffuser can be fitted. It features a functional venturi which adds an extra 30% of downforce onto the rear axle.
In total, this car produces 50% more downforce than the previous GT4. As for the chassis, well, the Porsche GT4 borrows some bits from the GT3, like the front axle, and that's like borrowing your guitar playing skills from the Slash. Furthermore, the Porsche Active Suspension Management System lowers the car by 30 mils. This lowers the center of gravity and improves cornering ability by quite a bit.
This is without a question of a doubt one of, if not the best manual gearbox that I have ever experienced. The shifts are crisp, the throw is short, and it just feels right. Porsche does offer a faster shifting PDK transmission,
but sometimes it's good to take your time. You know what I mean? As for the engine, well, some might tell you that it's just the 3-litre motor from the current 992-911 that's been bored out to 4 litres with the turbos removed, but it's more than that.
It features high-strength forged steel crankshaft, geometrically optimized connecting rods, and a bigger crankshaft main bearing. This allows for an 8,000 RPM redline,
where all 309 kilowatts and 420 newton meters exist. Oh yes!
So I told you about the technical details, but how do they all translate into the real world? Cayman GT4 is surprisingly easy to drive. Jump on the accelerator and ride out the tall gears to over 5,000 RPM, and that is where the real fun starts. The car gets better the harder you drive it. Each element complements the other like the instruments of an orchestra.
It's up to you to conduct the symphony.
is the fine art of timing each movement, removing your hand from the wheel and changing gear as your feet dance between the pedals as you approach the glorious 8,000 RPM crescendo. When it comes to the GT4's cornering ability, you quickly learn that it exceeds your expectations. This is because of that extra downforce created by the clever aero bits.
As for the interior, well, it's quite nice. There's Apple CarPlay. I have a beautiful Porsche tachometer in front of me, and I got some straps for door handles. What else you want to know? Oh, and there's no buttons on the steering wheel. In an auto car, it's easy. Every gear feels the same. It's a flick of a paddle. Over here, it's calculated. On the brakes, gear down, turn in, auto blip providing me with oral sensation. It just... What a sound. What a car. You really have to trust this car. You gotta trust the aero, trust the development, trust the tires, the Cup 2 tires. And they only work when they warm, and they warm now. The feeling that this car gives, you don't get this anymore. Listen to it. So many cars these days, you sit in. This one you become a part of. That is the difference. Yeah. The Porsche Cayman GT4 is the entry point into the Porsche GT range of cars. Cars that have been designed for white knuckle driving. Some say you need to take them out on a weekend, find an empty road, and drive them hard.